Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share something really personal with you. How I discovered Korea. The exact key moment that made me fall in love with this country, its people, its culture and its art. It wasn't something that I planned. It was something that happened gradually and it's now the passion that leads my life. Before Korea came into my life, I actually already had a strong interest in Asia. I was really curious about its tradition, its Asian history, its art and philosophy. Also because it's something they don't really teach us in school, and it's a part of the world that we don't know much about. So I was really curious about this mystery and so different kind of culture. And I spent hours reading books, watching documentaries, and dreaming of this place that I know so little, but I felt so connected to. At the time, Korea wasn't really in my radar. I was more focused on like Southeast Asia and Japan. And that changed when I watched the film Snowpiercer. That movie, actually, I really loved it, and I didn't even know the director was Korean at the time. I just liked how it was raw, intense, and emotionally charged. And after that, I saw Parasite, and that made me fall in love even more with Korean cinematography because it dealt with so many social aspects of the life, the class, the family, the survival, and the morality. And also, every shot looked so good. It was like seeing paintings. And at the time, I was really into photography and cinematography. I'm still am, but at the time, even more. So my thought was like, so if this is how Korean cinematography looks like, I need to see more. That curiosity led me to other old Korean movies and then consequentially to Korean dramas. At first I was not drawn to the romance or to the trends. It was actually historical Korean dramas that I really liked. The Hanbok, the Palace, and also the Dynasty fight. All of that spoke to that part of me that was always in love with history. After every drama I used to look up like Korean history. But at first, actually, I was not really interested in Korean culture. It was just like background of the main subject of my interest. And all of that changed the time something really unexpected happened. And I think it was around 2020, I think, when my sister told me, have you ever heard of a Korean boy band? They're called BTS. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But at the moment, they have just released their new song, Dynamite. So I gave it a try to see what the whole hype was about. And honestly, I just thought, okay, colorful, but not really my style. So I moved on. And that's probably because sometimes things required the right moment to reach you. A few months later, I heard by accident another BTS song, Love Myself, and actually at the time I was really going through a rough time. And after listening to that song, being able to understand the main lyrics, I actually went to search it up, the lyrics, and for the first time I started listening, not just with my ears, but with my heart. And I loved the lyrics. I actually felt like really touched, and I understood they were speaking about in their song they were speaking about not just like casual stuff, but about loving yourself, growing through your pain. And in that moment, for the first time after a while, I actually felt seen. And I became really curious about this band. I was able to connect with people from all over the world, from Korea, and from their own experience to Korea. They were able to understand me, and I was on the other side of the world. And I realized for the first moment that it was not just melody, choreography, and colorful, and it actually had a message rooted inside it. And that was my real key moment, because from that moment on, I was not just a passive watcher or listen. I actually started my path through Korea. And from that moment, I dove into BTS discography, and every song was like a treasure to me. And it was electro, filled with strength, comfort, joy, and sometimes even sadness. But it actually helped me going through a lot of my stressful moments and helped me with my insecurity and with my loneliness at the time during COVID. And through the reality show, I was able to discover so much more about Korea, like their Korean traditional games, traditional food, the beauty culture, and so many more aspects of Korean culture that I really loved. And what started with just songs and music and movies, it actually turned it in something way bigger for me. It actually became my main passion, what actually lead my life right now. So today I'm proud to say that I'm a student of Asian language and culture with a special focus on Korea. And what started with film and music turned it into my studies path and my passion. I've studied Korean history, philosophy, and literature, and I'm still studying it. Also, I started studying Korean language a few years ago, and I'm still struggling with it, but I'm doing my best. And because all of the road, all of the moments that led me to today were not just a phase, came a relationship with Korean culture, with the people, and with all the discovery I keep making. And what began like curiosity, it became love. So this is the story of how I discovered Korea. It was not just a sudden spark, it was more like a series of moments and events, from movies to music to meaning. And now I'm sharing my journey with you. And whether you're just starting your Korean journey or you're in the middle of this path, let's talk about it together. And if you have your own K moment, please leave it in the comment. I would love to talk about it. And thank you again for listening to my story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on the next video.